What is going on, guys? Welcome. Today we're jumping into Automobilista and I'm excited to return to it after a few rather large updates. One of the most exciting for me being the introduction of these 2017 spec Formula 1 cars. Now, if you're not an F1 fan or don't follow Formula 1, the 2017 regulations introduced a few rather large changes. We're talking bigger, wider tyres, wider wings, wider cars, which was to translate to making the car significantly faster than the 2017 spec versions. In fact, make them significantly faster than any F1 car in history. So what I'm attempting to keep on track here is the Automobilista 2017 spec F1 car titled Formula Ultimate. Now, when it comes to F1 cars, Automobilista without a doubt is my go-to title, and I was surprised how much fun I've been having in this Formula Ultimate. Now, due to a whole list of legal reasons, official Formula 1 branding and licensing isn't present in the base content. But after a quick download and install, all I can say is hello F1 2017. We've got full branding, full licensing, correct driver names, correct helmets, and for me it's just one of those things that translates everything to a much more authentic experience. So with all the cool F1 skins taken into account, let's have a look at a few tracks. Now, this is the Melbourne Grand Prix circuit, and it's been home to the Australian Grand Prix since 1995. Now, one of the things that makes it so special is that since 1995, it's almost always been the first race in the F1 calendar. So it's always the first track we get our first look at the new season F1 cars. Now, I'm in the Force India, and this livery is something you either love or hate, with the majority probably hating, but let me know your thoughts on it, because as the seasons progress, it's grown on me almost to the point I think it's good because it's just so bad. So this track is part of the huge 24 track mega pack that's available as a free download. So if you've got Automobilista or you're an F1 fan, you need this pack because it's also got a few notable F1 tracks like Circuit de Catalunya, Monza, Spa, Silverstone, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting. And how cool is this time trial feature? Now, if you don't already know, Automobilista has an inbuilt time trial system, and it's one of those game features that I just find myself coming back to occasionally. You can download people's setups, and it's all linked up to a website called virtualexperience.net. And Reza also frequently posts time trial challenges, and I just find it a good change from racing or hot lapping by yourself. Now, when it comes to racing titles, Formula 1 spec cars, or namely modern spec Formula 1 cars, do get a lot of hate. People claim they have no soul or no personality, but I'm sorry, there's no better personality than being able to lap almost any other racing class by in excess of 30 seconds per lap. The speed at which these things corner, even after I've done hundreds of laps, still amazes me. Corners are over in the blink of an eye, and your brain has to learn to adapt to more information as you cover more ground in a shorter amount of time. Whenever I step back into slower racing cars, it almost feels as if everything is happening in slow motion, and the experience, the skills, the reaction time and processing ability you gain from driving Formula 1 really helps you drive other race classes more effectively. Alright, jumping into some V8 supercars now, this time around Bathurst, and if you can really feel the weight and lack of downforce in these things. Jesus, they're absolutely struggling to turn into corners, and the braking zones are 3. They're probably 3 times longer than the 2017 spec F1 cars, but they're slipping, sliding, squirming and dancing all over the place, and it's this total lack of composure that makes these so much fun to drive. Whereas, the F1 cars feel like they're glued to the track on rails, corners taken with total composure and efficiency. These feel like boats, but they sure as hell are a lot of fun to attempt to keep in a straight line. Now, this track is part of the Automobilista Mega Track Pack, but Again, what sets this apart is the awesome skins applied to the Super V8s, which is essentially Automobilista's unbranded version of the V8 Supercar, the V8 Supercar series. And I just think it adds a level of authenticity to the title. I mean, I always have more fun racing around tracks and with cars that have real world branding. Okay, so still sticking with the V8 Supercars, we're now racing around the Adelaide 500 street circuit, which is a slightly shorter version of the Formula 1 circuit that was home of the Australian Grand Prix from 1985 to 1995. Now, after Bathurst, this is the second home of V8 Supercar racing in Australia, and it's part of Automobilista's Adelaide DLC pack. Now, in standard form, in terms of branding and advertising, the track is a bit of an eyesore, but with a track skin pack, the track is completely transformed, and we have official branding and advertising. Trackside, we've got Clipsal signs, Castrol, Holden, Armour All, and with a change that's as simple as downloading a skin pack, the track is totally transformed and becomes what I can best describe as looking and feeling authentic. Now, I have had a look at modding, advertising on other tracks, namely Interlagos and Suzuka, to have official, F1 style Rolex branding, but it was a little over my head, and if there are any modders out there listening, hint, hint, advertising packs for the official F1 tracks in the game would be awesome. Stepping back into something with a bit more speed, this time we're blasting around the iconic Spire Circuit again. This is part of the Mega Track Pack, and it comes with an autumn and summer version. We're currently in the autumn version, and as you can tell, the trees and foliage has that autumnish look to it, which I think looks spectacular. These now 2017 spec F1 cars really shine on a high-speed track like this. Compared to previous generation F1 cars, it almost feels like I can feel the G-forces and my eyeballs wanting to be whipped out of their eye sockets. Cornering is just so much fun with so much grip, but don't think it's an easy drive, because mistakes or errors can be made in half the time of other cars, and you have half the time to correct it, which I think is what makes these so much fun. They kind of feel like an endgame boss, where you spend the entire game playing levels and are then faced with the hardest, most challenging level or boss. This is what these Formula 1 cars are all about. Anyway guys, that's it for me. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all again next time.